Let's talk about the vectorized apply functions. The apply functions are a set of vectorized functions that we can apply to objects of different types. Notice that there was a star before apply, and the reason for that is because there are actually many different types of apply functions, and usually start with a different character. And that star is a wildcard character, meaning that can be any set of characters before the word apply. The apply functions are typically going to be much faster than equivalent operations you implement using a loop. Additionally, apply functions tend to make our code simpler and more elegant. We can do the same operations but using a cleaner, simpler syntax. The table below summarizes the various apply functions that are available by default in R. The first apply function is literally just apply, and it applies a function to the margins of a data frame, matrix, or array. So the same function will be applied to each row or column, for example, of a data frame. The lapply function applies a function to each element of a list. So instead of taking a data frame, matrix, or array, like the previous function, instead, the lapply function takes a list and applies that function to each element of a list. The sapply function is actually a variant of lapply that attempts to simplify the results to a vector, matrix, or array. So the sapply function will do the same thing as the lapply function, but attempts to return the result in a simplified structure. Similarly, there is a vapply function, and vapply is supposed to be a safer version of sapply that returns a pre-specified type of return value. And so basically, you're supposed to return an object of a specific type, and if that's not occurring, then it throws an error, and so it's supposed to be safer than sapply. tapply is a variant of apply that applies a function to a vector or data frame based on the levels of a categorical variable. So essentially what's going to happen is that the data frame or the vector is split into different groups depending on the categorical variable, and then the function is applied to each one of those groups. Lastly, we have the mapply function, which is a multivariate version of sapply. We'll go into each one of these functions in more detail in future videos.